All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, Connor on Chain. So today I want to cover some gaming tokens, some meme coins, and just a little bit of information just about some random stuff. All right. So like I said in my video yesterday, I do want to cover some gaming. Excuse me. So let's dive into it. Yeah, that's what I meant to type before. WAP. So number one, warped games, guys. This still is my highest conviction coin for gaming for the rest of the cycle. They have been killing it with development. They continue to grind super hard. So we got warped right here. Some things I like about warps, like still that I've seen consistently that they're doing right, in my opinion, is it's kind of the fact that they're really building in public. Something I really do like is that they got monthly development updates. They post it on Medium, they post it on Twitter, just talking about what they've done and what they plan on doing, what's coming, including, everything for their website, business and marketing, for their game. When you see things like that coming out of a project, and especially when it's been consistent month after month, especially in such a downturn, to me that's very, very strong of a project to be doing, because we've seen just in the last 3 4 months how many coins have gone straight to zero, stopped posting and just went completely off, right? But warped games, they just continue to build super strong, in my opinion. They got their trailer here.
10-3, copy that.
I'm not gonna play this because it is 6 minutes here, but I want you guys to watch this. Just go to their Twitter, which is warped_games. Very bullish, in my opinion. Still one of my favorite gaming tokens for the cycle. So let's get into a second coin here. So the second coin, which I don't think I've ever talked about on the channel, but I've been, diving into it, doing a little bit of research recently, is actually Moontropica. So this one's pretty interesting, in my opinion. It's this game is definitely something different than I normally see. Games coming out of crypto Twitter, or just crypto related games, right? It's kind of like a Zelda slash, I don't know what you want to call it, like interesting game. Step into the adventurous, energetic, heart-pounding battle arenas where strategy, skill, and determination are put to the ultimate test. With Moontropica, though, it was fair launched. It was self-funded by the team initially. And I like to see things like that. And still, obviously, it had a huge run-up. It's come back down insanely hard, sitting at around 20 million in market cap right now. I think long term, excuse me. Yeah, we put that right there. I think long term, this does have, a ton of potential just to grow. It's one of the biggest factors for me that I saw was, tokenomics, team, everything. To me, it looks great. But seeing the social sentiment behind Moontropica when it starts to run is unlike anything I've seen outside of Soonverse, which I'll get into too. But when people when people were starting to tweet and talk about Moontropica, like you guys obviously, like you can see this pump. It had in between a 10 to 20x depending on how low you got in. Could have been even more if you got in down here. But just had huge growth, right? But just seeing Twitter going crazy for it as it continued to run and continued to run, that's, to me, I feel like I don't see that too often, where people are tweeting as much as I saw Moontropica being talked about. So just with that, I think the social sentiment behind Moontropica is just almost unlike anything. Just huge. And to me, that's one of the biggest things is, when you have organic engagement coming from anyone around the world talking about a coin, and you have hundreds, if not thousands of people constantly just talking about it, bringing attention to it. I know for a fact that once this starts to get going again, it's probably going to do the same thing. Price wise, do I expect it to just pump 30x this up only again? No, I don't think so. But that's also not saying that it can't do another 30x from here. I don't want to give any sort of price targets. But I think once sentiment can really start to move with this, it's probably just gonna have a nice slow run up. Until crypto gaming really has that pump. Because again, I think that's why most gaming tokens are still down so bad, and they have been for a while, right? It's just the sentiment right now has been complete dog shit. Obviously, with Bitcoin just been dumping for months now. But, I'm getting really bullish. That's kind of why I'm talking about these coins now. That's why I haven't really talked about, too many new coins, because I feel like it just wasn't the time. Market conditions just were not there. Excuse me. They were not there yet. But I feel like we're definitely at some sort of bottom in the market, But so that was number 2 is Moontropica. I have been liking that one a lot lately. So number 3, Corpo has been one on my radar, pretty much since launch. Corpo is very interesting. The games that they're building Play, Animate, and Citizen Conflict, a shooting game, and, some sort of animal-like adventure game. It almost reminds me of like a Pokemon in a sense, but a little bit different. But they're building these 2 games that just look absolutely incredible. And I also like, again, that one of their games is not just a shooter game, because I feel like at least 80% of games coming out of, the Web3 space are shooter games, right? The shooter games from microcaps right now that exist to a ton of major games coming out. But for what it is, Corpo is really interesting. It's definitely very professional with development too. Oh my god, bro. Throat's gone again. Excuse me. I sound crazy. But yeah, the website's Corpo World. Yes, we know the token is live. Thank you. But yeah, to me, like I said, I think their production, as far as what they're going to be building for the games, just really does look incredible. It looks like the token's finally finding some sort of bottom around 20 cents here, built with Unreal Engine 5. And I'm not trying to make this a full in-depth guide on these tokens. I like to make individual videos really diving into certain coins. But the only thing I don't like with Corpo is that their token unlocks are happening now. There is some sell pressure, but at the end of the day, guys, I'm coming at this with a lot of these coins in a sense. Once the gaming narrative pops off again, people are just going to be buying anything. If it has the word gaming in it, if it looks like a video game, people are probably going to be aping into it. If it's got the attention on it at that time span, people are going to buy it. The tokenomics are okay. Like I said, there are unlocks happening now, but I think the sell pressure is going to be far outpaced once the hype really comes in and pushes this thing, especially when the games are really, just more in the public eyes, and when more people outside of Web3 are really looking in and they see these games, Like I said, I like Corpo for what it is. I've been waiting for a bottom to form on this for a long time. Because even from here, did anyone expect this to go all the way underneath, its kind of launch price or whatever down here? No, right? Like a lot of these coins have just been slaughtered. If anyone bought in early, it looks like you're down 70, 80, 90%, right? Sorry guys, I don't sleep much. That's why I constantly yawn. But anyways, um, yeah, for what it is, I think those three, in my opinion, the reason I'm bringing those three up is because those I have developed a good amount of conviction for over the last few weeks. I've been watching all of these for over at least a couple months now. Moontropica, Corpo, and Warped. I just think they're all great coins for what they are. They do have I don't know, Corpo outside of the tokenomics, I think it looks very bullish. Ka, I don't see any major red flags in any way after, digging through it. And same thing with Warped. I see zero red flags with them literally at all. They're the most transparent team and project I've ever seen in crypto right now for gaming. And I think in the span of between, I guess 5 to 10 million in market cap, upwards of, 20 to 30 million. These are probably some of your better picks. These are personal, very strong gaming picks for me right now. Just based on the sentiment again. Because again, there have been coins I've talked about in the past that just haven't performed well, or they haven't, done too much. Other coins I've talked about in the past, they were building really hard, but over the last 2-3 months, they kind of just completely stopped. They haven't been doing too much. It's just, it is what it is sometimes with a lot of these coins, especially with like micro caps too, with like certain teams. Sometimes they can just stop at the blink of an eye, right? But the last one I want to bring up here is Soonverse. I've talked about this multiple times on the channel as well. But again, for a micro cap gaming pick, again, those three I brought up earlier, those are kind of like, to me, I consider those kind of mid cap. But obviously I know to a normal crypto investor, that's probably still a micro cap or a low cap. But for me, this is a low cap / micro cap Soonverse, which I don't think any of this is correct here. So do not trust Dex Screener here looking at it. The name itself is Soonverse, not SoonSwap. But they used to be called SoonSwap. That's why it has SoonSwap here. But very interesting game. First NFT marketplace. Yeah, because they are a metaverse. Hold on. So I'm like, they haven't even updated their Dex Screener there. I want to see that updated. Integrated Web3 games and metaverse accelerator and incubator. That's what I was trying to say. But they do have multiple games as well with Soonverse. And they've just been around their team. They got a lot going on. I like Soonverse a lot. That to me is a very strong micro cap bet, especially to chart wise and technicals based, reasoning. It just bottomed out. It looks great. Social sentiment when this gets moving is unlike anything I've ever seen in the entire space. When Soonverse last had this pump here, I've never seen Twitter go so crazy over a single token in my entire life. Soon was nuts, and I expect it to do something similar once it starts to move again. And sitting, I don't even think it's at 2 million in market cap. It might be. But in between, whether it's at 500K to 2 million in market cap, I think, for this to pull a 10 to 20x, once like gaming really picks up, I really would not be surprised to see that. Again, I don't like to give price targets, but just to see this move up and do a 10x, I think is very reasonable in due time. Again, it's not going to do a 10x overnight. It's probably not going to do anything right now for another few days, few weeks. Again, unless crypto gaming for some reason next week decides to just blow out of proportion, right? which again, even that I don't think is going to happen. But, maybe this trends up, trends sideways, just doesn't do much until Bitcoin and ETH make new highs. They're really taking off at the end of the year. And then crypto gaming, that narrative itself finally has that catalyst, finally has all those major moves, right? And that's what I was saying earlier, where if a token just has the word gaming in it or something related to it, it's probably gonna pump. And something like Soonverse, like I'm saying, as a micro cap bet, has high potential for, good rewards in comparison to your potential losses. It's not gonna go much further down from here at all. This is literally close to a bottom, like a tenth of a penny. So in my opinion, the risk reward is very, very strong here. And their fundamentals are pretty strong for what it is. They constantly are building, pushing content on Twitter as well, and partnerships. They have a ton of partnerships. To me, this is like a very, formulated micro cap gaming bet. But it's only going to work out if Bitcoin and ETH make new highs and crypto gaming absolutely skyrockets again at some point. That's kind of the bet you're taking with this. Like I said, I feel like the downside is very minimal to this long term if you just buy and hold it. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research, check this stuff out. The website is soonverse.xyz. You can go to their Twitter. The Twitter is soon_verse. So you can check that out as well. But outside of that, guys, I think those are some of the strong gaming coins that I've been watching that I've had on my radar. There are at least 3 or 4 others that I'm still doing research on, still watching for, and just trying to dive into more fundamental analysis with. But, for right now, these are very strong bets of mine that I think long-term have a ton of growth, for the reasonings I gave, right? But, for what it is, it's going to just depend on Bitcoin and ETH really deciding to move and make new highs. We got the ETFs. I think they're going live at some point soon. Short term with the ETFs, though, for ETH, I feel like everyone thinks ETH is going to pump like crazy. Short term, I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's probably just going to sit sideways, not really do much at all. Maybe even come down a little bit before eventually it starts to slowly trickle up, and then probably just rip at some point. But I don't think directly after the ETF it's going to do that. So it might take some time, but again, playing this long-term bullish. That's how I play this game. I really don't like to be trading, brand new launches, meme coins like that all the time. Here and there I will, but, for the most part, I just like to find these long-term, strong bets. And, yeah, like Soonverse, like I said, I really think Soonverse has that potential to have a great run just long-term from here. So that's what I got for you guys today. I appreciate you watching. I know I said I was going to get into memes, but this is already a 20-minute video. I'm going to cut it here. Probably make another video about more meme coins. I actually just called another one recently today. That I think just long-term has good potential. I'll be making a video talking about it more, maybe tomorrow or the day after. But I do have a runes video coming soon as well. So just stay up to date with that stuff. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video. And yeah, thanks guys.